I'm well. How are you, man?
All right. Do you remember how many followers I wanted?
You wanted to be up to about 170, I believe, based on your math before.
175, very close. I am at 333.
So you've exceeded your expectations.
Oh, big time. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Um, there was this point at like 5:30 in the morning where I went into this one person's uh, Twitter Spaces, and I could not believe how quickly the follows were coming in. It was just like follow, 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 follow. Like I think I got like 60 in maybe like 10 minutes. It just they came in very quickly. Now these are fine followers, but they're people who are just looking for other followers. I did get some good people though who just for my um, going to people's Twitter Spaces and shilling their project. The people on Twitter are so absolutely mean though. They are without a doubt. They're like those people on Discord who just shit on me, but it's kind of it, these Twitter Spaces work like this.
No, I know what you mean. Some people they keep firing even though they didn't show up with ammo.
Yeah,
I don't know a better way to put it. Like
this
you
this
know,
this one guy yesterday.
they'll call you.
This one guy yesterday. This one guy yesterday. Now, in my spiel, I at no point say I am an expert in human growth hormone. I don't say that. I say that we talk about the human growth hormone. So this guy yesterday, who knows one word about human growth hormone, is like, oh yeah, what are your thoughts on Saperstein uh, human growth hormone? I'm like, I don't, I'm not exactly sure what that is. And like the human growth hormone I've seen, I don't know, it's from like a doctor. And I explained the process. And he's like, oh, you don't know what Saperstein uh, um, human growth hormone? Well, it turns out he was missaying it and mispronouncing it. And so, number one, I didn't know what he was saying. Number two, it wasn't Saperstein human growth hormone, some other fucking kind of. It was like, I don't know, it was something different. But this guy started shitting on me. He's like, oh, you only have 150 followers, and you created your account in January. Yeah, dog, I created it like 2 days ago, and I got 150 followers. You've had your account for like 6 years, and you've got like, not that many more than I do. Anyway, that's just
I can do great 200. I'm at like 180.
that's how people are on Twitter. And I get it. I mean, I did the same thing to some extent. Like, wow, a really big.
I'm just like, I'm impressed. You're doing great.
Well,
You're doing phenomenal in the Twitter. So don't let some basic say. Well, I still wouldn't have the story, but I mean, you're the rabbi. You're always going to run into these fuckers. But I mean, you better than anyone know what it is.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's like my real accounts had tens of thousands of followers, um, but they got banned, and I've tried for more than a year to try to get them back. I don't want to say every single day, but sometimes every single day. And I've created bots to do it. Basically, they put some kind of note on my account. Do not, under any circumstances, let this person have this account. They fucking followed us, or they fucking created a follow bot that made us change the whole system. So I've noticed this before. Like the reason why I was able to spam so many people before in such an efficient manner is because when you, I don't know, a couple of years ago, when you would create an account, you could follow 400 people right away. No issue. Not anymore. If you create an account now and you follow more than like 10 people, you get a 12-hour lockdown. So I can already tell that like somebody saw my loophole and was like, yeah, we got to close this. And they did. And, I find other loopholes though, like that Twitter Spaces loophole where I just create dozens of them for every keyword so that when you type anything into the Twitter Spaces search, it's just like there are 10 of my fucking invitations that come out. Whatever it is, I've always been very good in life at finding loopholes. Just whatever it is, it's just something that like a vision that I have where I just look for them because I want to know where the weaknesses are. Well, I was in this one Twitter space, dude. I will say this: I love Africa. I love African people. I love I love African people more than I love most other continents because I feel like the colonial powers just absolutely ravaged the continent. With that said, there is a certain um, thing that happens within what I find to be many of these similar Twitter spaces where the people talk for far too long. Like other Twitter spaces, people talk for like 1 or 2 minutes. That's it. But these other Twitter spaces, they're talking for like 19 minutes, 25 minutes of one person, and it's just like it's ridiculous. So this was happening yesterday, where these guys would be like, "We have 15 minutes left," and these guys would just be like, "Okay, next person, next hand," and they'd be like, "All right, go ahead." And this guy would be like, "I want to thank my wife. She's my only follower." Literally, that's what somebody said. I appreciate everything she does for me. Thank you to the other person who's helped me on Twitter, Princess. I just got a notification. I want everyone to know I just got a notification. Just like absolutely nothing. And here I am, rip roaring, ready to go. So I'm in this fucking Twitter space for like an hour. And normally I'm like, I have to say to myself, um, is it worth my time? Is this going to be worth my time to go to this Twitter space and wait, I don't know, perhaps sometimes 30 minutes, an hour to get on stage and be able to do my spiel? Or do I just move on to another? Well, this one I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try. I get on. I speak for 3 seconds and I get cut off. I waited in this fucking thing for like more than an hour. I was bitching and moaning, just let me fucking on the stage. And then I get in 3 minutes. They're like, yeah, we're not talking about that right now. Next time. And I was just so frustrated. And that's just what happens. I mean, I get it. It's just part of life. You can't win them all. But it was just kind of a funny thing that happened to me where I'm like, oh, I cannot believe that these guys are doing this at this point. They're just I waited this long and they're not gonna let me fucking talk. So what else do we have going on? Well, in addition to my one account with 333 followers, that's good. But I've got the other accounts. Like I would rather have my goals are this.
I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on mute.
Oh, you're okay. Go ahead.
So I was like, what the hell? I was saying when they talk that much, and they don't give other people, it reminds me of like a filibuster.
That's exactly right.
Making sure that, and so that's what I was. When you didn't even like, I was like, man, did I mute myself? Because he didn't even seem to even hear that, and I looked and sure as shit muted, and it's like, nah, I used the word filibuster. I gotta make sure you use that.
Yeah, no, it is exactly like a filibuster, and these people, I've got to say, they're very kind. But the people who need to hear my message, I feel the most, are these people who are talking about being hungry and being thirsty, and that there are these types of technologies. I'm trying to help them, and then for me to be like 3 seconds in, they just cut me off, and I'm like, oh my, what is going on? So my goal is I don't want to give it a date, but I want to have 1,000 followers on my account because that's a big threshold. And then on my other accounts, I want to have 100 followers. And my other accounts, that's like 25 other accounts. So it's more difficult to do that, especially when somebody's followed you once on your main account. They don't want to follow you 25 more times with all these like bot accounts. But some people do. Some people get it, and they're really cool. So I'm making strides on the other accounts too. They're at like 25 followers each, and continuing to improve there. So the reason why I want that, once I have like 100 followers on each of those smaller accounts, when I go in with these bots into people's Twitter spaces, they show up closer to the top. They're not all the way at the bottom. And That's just free advertising for me. I know that some people
That's just being seen.
exactly,
Just being seen, and people know you exist and know that you're a person.
exactly. It's a mere exposure effect, and I do hear people like,
That's right.
"Welcome, welcome. Hey, excellent. Left is my friend from Twitter Spaces. How you doing, big dog?
Yeah.
How's your day going?" I appreciate it. Yeah, man. I was just talking about some of the success that I've had on Twitter Spaces recently, and like I have like one account with like 333 people. That's only like 48 hours old, and so we're just continuing to grind.
Yeah, I reposted that video or post.
I appreciate it, my man. So yeah, just keeping up the grind. How are things in your neck of the woods? Excellent. Excellent. I appreciate it. Yeah, so we're just continuing to grind. I've been going in Twitter Spaces, chilling my project, and really just I get some people who were like that Twitter space where I met you, who are very kind, allow me to speak, allow me to get out my spiel. There are other people who don't want to hear it. They say that I sound like a commercial, and I get that. I've got my spiel down pretty well though, so it does sound like I'm reading it. Some people think I'm AI as well. Some people just stop me and be like, is this AI? I'm like, no, this is me saying this right now. They're like, oh, we thought you were a robot. So I do get that. But yeah, I found a lot of success recently, and really proud of it. Exactly. That's the goal. And eventually, I mean, like you've seen when I get like a bunch of accounts in someone's Twitter space, sometimes they just stop their entire Twitter space and they're like, "What is this?" They end up clicking on my profile and snooping around and seeing what I'm doing. And if anything, I hope to have a positive impact on them. If they don't like it, not everybody does, so they can throw me out or do whatever they want. But for the most part, I find a lot of positivity in my rooms. And do you have any Twitter space hosts that you like in particular? Yeah, I used to. So I didn't know really anything about Twitter Spaces probably like 3 years ago, and I used to just like go into them and talk to people, and I didn't have my spiel down as well as I do now. But I used to host an overnight show with someone, and we got like I got into the NFT world and I got into the crypto world a little bit that way, and I was looking for her last night just to see like what happened to her because she was like a very well known person on Twitter, and of course what happens to everybody eventually she got her account suspended. I don't know how. She was the nicest person. She never posted anything wrong or anything. But
Yeah, I think it honestly. I know Elon probably makes it work.
yeah, I mean, I was hearing people last night. These guys from, I was in an African space, and they're like talking about like, hey, I had a bigger account, and like I think a lot of people did, and I did as well, and it got banned. And there's just like no help from Twitter to get any of that stuff back. It's one of the worst systems I've ever seen. It's very
He did fire a lot
exact. Exactly. And from what I know, none of those people who are in their security teams work in the United States anymore. So they don't even have like as I understand, they're in foreign countries. So that like if they ever get fired, they can't come out and be like, look, here are the practices that are happening at Twitter, like on like the local news or something like that. They're all basically faceless people. Not saying they're not important in life, but they just don't have perhaps the same connection to perhaps some of the larger audiences in the United States where people are trying to get their accounts back. And it's very frustrating because you work so hard to build up an account, people get to know you, and then it gets banned. And then it's like, okay, well, what happened to that person? Oh, I guess they got banned. And then there's nothing that you can do with it. All those connections that you made are gone. All those posts, all that content that you have is gone. It is better since Elon Musk had took over. There's no doubt about that. Um, I came up with this strategy. If you have Twitter Spaces right now, do you have an iOS device left? Okay, excellent. Go to Twitter Spaces and go to the search and type in the word crypto, CRYPTO.
What happened?
Sure. What will happen is I created like over 100 different Twitter Spaces that are upcoming. So when you type in some of this, when you type in the um, when you type in certain words, it just floods. Like my thing just says like read Rabbi's profile, and it just floods all of the search results. And I think it's a pretty interesting way of advertising that currently hasn't been quashed.
Have you ever thought of like I know you used to do like content or whatever?
Yeah, actually, somebody yesterday, like literally less than 24 hours ago, it's right about 24 hours ago from now, said that Aiden Ross was in his Discord and wanted to interview me. I'm open to it. I've been in contact with some of his people,
I
but
would plan it out because I know like he is Jewish, but at the end of the day, there's some ways that you could try to like just help the farming. There's some ways like you could try to like make a joke and inspire probably
I understand that. I know what you're saying. He was in my stream over year, no, on, like last May. He was in my YouTube stream and just seeing what I was doing. And I had an opportunity to tell him about myself. He wanted to see my ID. I showed him my ID. And why? Because I don't really have any fears. And what else? He brought a ton of people into it. And that's how I started getting into Discord. I didn't really know who he was, but then I've just been live streaming in there. I got another guy who, 100%, 100%. I got another guy who messaged me in Discord, who I know, who's a pretty big fan of mine, and he's a documentarian. And he told me he wanted to make a documentary on me, and I don't have an issue with that. I'm all for it. I'll participate in any way possible. I have more video than anybody ever. So for a documentarian, this is like a gold mine of whatever they want. Especially when it comes to I have long form content, and then I have tons of clips, and then I have tons of social media, and so basically anything that he wants to um, do to make that documentary, I'm pretty sure that he could probably have uh, a good time with that. So that's good. And I mean, the thing that makes me happy is I get people who, after I talk to them, they're like, you give me hope. And that's the best because it's like, good. That's what I want to do. I want to be a positive force in people's lives. I want to be a pillar to society. I want to be a light to the nations. And so when I actually get to engage with people and they tell me positive things like that, that's really great. And yeah, I mean, I kind of see it as this. If I sit on Twitter Spaces for the next, I don't know, year, if it takes it, every single day, at least like 12 hours a day, I'll become a very well-known individual there, like I once was, and but even better, much better known. And then what I need to do if my account gets banned, I come back with another account. People will know me, and just really keep that mere exposure effect going. And eventually, somebody's gonna be like, you know what? I'm looking through your stuff. I've never seen more stuff in my entire life. You say that you can change my life with just a retweet. Okay, let's try it. And you never know what could happen. So I personally think.
I mean, look at I'm like I'm close to small creator on Twitter, and I already got the traction.
Absolutely. That's the plan. That's the plan. So, I really enjoy my life. I enjoy going into these Twitter spaces. Sometimes they're very frustrating. You know, I'm sure you've been in them before where you want to get on the stage and it's like you have to wait a long time and they vet you and it's all kinds of things like that. I don't know if we trust this person. I hear that a lot. But then it's like, okay, once I get on and people give me an honest opportunity to be able to tell them what I do, and they let me get through it all and they don't interrupt me, I win them over 9 times out of 10. And to those that I don't, you can't win them all. But I get a lot of people. I mean, the best thing that I hear, in addition to just you give me hope, is sometimes I do my spiel and people will be like, I'm not going to lie, that is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want it to be. That's the kind of positivity that I want to have in the world. And so those are all really good things. Do you have any plans to be in any Twitter spaces this afternoon?
No, I don't have any. Community through your Discord. I didn't get the idea from you, but you gave me more like of a reason to do it because obviously I didn't think Discord was community based around it. But it's called DJ Tavern, so it's like you go to the tavern like a bar.
Absolutely. Sure.
So it's just a bunch of it's a place where show their projects.
Amazing. If you send me an invitation, I'll join. I'm sure Caspian will join, so that'll be 2 extra people. Do you have any experience with bots on Discord?
Yeah, I do bought some stuff like I bought the servers.
No, not what I mean. Not what I mean. I mean, that's good, the server boost and that kind of thing. No, bot, like,
Oh yeah, Discord bots.
yeah. Yeah. So there are some really good.
I'm working on Twitter.
Oh, that's a good one. Definitely. There are some that, as you get bigger, you're gonna want, particularly in terms of they have just like they're moderation bots, but they'll just tell you when a user joined, how old their account is. They'll tell you perhaps what link they came from. It just gives you a lot more information on people. And there are others that I use. I don't know if you'd use, but I use like a ticketing. Like if people have questions or they need support, they can always send me a message that way. I do use a lot of music bots. Some of them work better than others. The lo-fi bots work really well. Some of the like choose your own song ones, they work for like 72 hours or so, but then they don't always work. Same with the karaoke ones, but some are better than others. And I think that what you're doing is a good thing. Basically, Twitter Spaces is great, and it's great to create a community there, but there's no video aspect of it, or if there is, it's just one person.
I don't go on Twitter to watch videos.
Right. There are some times though you may want to have, like I've been a part of crypto communities from Twitter, and the crypto community will have like a night where they watch The Wolf of Wall Street, or they'll watch Wall Street, or they'll watch some kind of finance related movie, and they just want to help build a community. And one of the best ways to do it, I think, is probably through Discord, just because Discord has so many features that you're just yeah. I was too. When you first create a Discord account or Discord community, it's like very plain, and there's not that much. But if you go, there are some really good websites for Discord. Top.gg is one of the best ones, especially for bots. You go in there, any kind of bot that you ever want. Like, I'm gonna take a look at it right now and see if there's anything that might be good. Strictly from
I
Twitter.
would go into the servers. I go into servers that I think are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been different types of
one thing that I would just say wasn't going to try was consolidating tasks. So I have one bot that'll it probably could do multiple different tasks, but I usually have it set to do just like I could have it set up to do like quotes as well, but I have a specific quote. So like which I'll say so there ends up being a lot of redundancies in capability of the bots, but that's like the issue where it's like, yeah, I can do this, but I like the way this other one goes back out. And then I just
No, I just started like focusing on my socials because you know I've been doing like I usually just have contact with like other brands and stuff. But now I'm like really focusing on my Twitter because like you know I think it's a big asset nowadays.
Lex, do you have a link tree? No, I understand. I'm just saying that that's the best thing that you can do for your socials. Because
I think I was going to do that too. Because like, I only have too much bio. It's just, you know, I can't get to tell them. I was going to use like AI.
there you go. And then when people want to find out everything about you, get your Telegram, get your Twitter, get your Discord. It's all there with one link. They also have some bots that I use that I don't know if would be helpful to you, but every time I go live, it tells my community. Not that I have a huge community that's just rushing to watch what I do, especially because I have so many different lives going at once. However, for someone like you, you may want that for whenever you're in your Twitter space. Maybe you don't as well. I mean, you can always turn it off too. But like, you know, if you're in a community and people are just like, I wonder what happened recently, or what you reposted, or repost what you want in your Discord, and kind of archive that. There's all kinds of things. I was looking on top.gg for just how many Twitter bots they have. They have over 110 Twitter bots that are integrated, that are Discord bots technically, but they just have some kind of functions. And kind of like what Caspian C said, a lot of these are redundant. They'll do will do multiple things just in a slightly different manner. But yeah, that's I would say a good thing to do. And really the big one is having a link tree, at least a one link where if you need, if you have 1 second to tell me where to go, or like let's say 3 seconds, you can say go to your Twitter or whatever, but you can also just say, I'm Linktree /left or whatever, and then everybody can get all your stuff from there.
Yeah, I wish I had more access, but very recent, that's the ability to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Euro, stuff like that was something some streaming as well, and not recently.
Absolutely. Left, I'll see you in the Twitter spaces. And I want you to know, again, how much I appreciate your friendship. And if you ever need anything, I'm here. My friend, I have already joined. You should. Excellent. Take care, Left. Peace, man.
Oh, it's a fucking love. I know. Not the chocolate snack for sure. Why? It's
plus. I'm plus.